Everyone. Before we start, we have a disclosure, and please be aware of the risk in the future trading. We will be sharing our signal, and as we see right now, we have a new signal buy entry on the NASDAQ. The entry price is 69.7225. Your target is 700175. What we are doing here, we are sharing our signal. We are totally responsible for your trade or your action in the market. It is meant to be educational purposes only. And some of the traders, they're having a hard time. It is a hard time in the market. So what we do, we spotlight what's going on. And when there is trouble in the market, we try to explain what's going on. At the same time, we keep our eye on the automated trading to see how they are working and functioning. Even if you are using an auto trade from some other companies, it's fine. Uh, at least we can spotlight for you what's going on if your auto trade is struggling or not, because it all depends on the market movement. Or if this market getting stuck in a channel, we will be letting you know so you can be aware what's going on in the market. For the ones who have never been here before, if we look at the left upper corner here at the market analyzer, you have the ES buy entry telling you, like now we had a signal when we just started, the NASDAQ telling you the buy entry. This is a safe entry based on retracement, pullback, re-entry, which will highlight it once the market gets to those levels. The entry price signal entry, it was 69.72725 at the entry price, and then we give you the target. On that one here is a newer version, has not been released to the traders yet because we are doing some other stuff to the NTA. But also we are doing some other features on it, like connecting it to the dome and automate it on the dome directly to the dome without looking at the chart, and some other features. So it's taken us a bit time to release the latest version. We want to make sure everything is right before we release it. Once you get into the trade, you'll see the P&L and ticks, and then you can see the P&L and the numbers. Then on the market analyzer, you see the trailing stop 1 and the trailing stop 2. Now, the trailing stop 1 and the trailing stop 2. Trailing stop 1 is based on the floor and fibs, minor support or resistance. And then we have the trailing stop 2 is a major resistance or support line once we come in. And we highlight this during those hours. At the same time, we have the Forex, which you can do the Forex with it. And also you can do the stocks, and that can give you an entry on the stocks as well. And it tells you what is your target on the stock, any kind of stocks. We can do that. But sadly, we only can share one monitor on a YouTube. So we cannot expand too much. I would love to show everything, but we will try to show the swing trading, automated trading, and then if we do like what we did yesterday, if I find an entry, I'm taking it. I'll let you know. This is between the two auto trades. At the same time, we try. I always try to look around and see what's going on in the market, especially also like on the scalping. I like to see what's going on in the scalping. I like to see if the scalping taking a short trade or a long trade on those, which we will cover that as well. And then we will cover the swing trading at the same time. So right now we have just one entry on the NASDAQ, and it was a buy entry. And if we look at, so what I did, I made two charts. One is a very simple chart, and the other one is a little bit more complex chart. So on the first left corner here, I simplify it as much as I can. And then this one here is a little bit more detailed. So let's look at the NASDAQ on the to simplify the chart, this is the fully automated trade. The full automated trade, what it does, you can do full automated where you do not have to touch it, or you can use an ATM strategy. This is the new version we've been working on. What it does, because on NinjaTrader 13 they have modified the ATM, so we are modifying the ATM after we did the update on version 12. So we are modifying the ATM. So if we notice right now on this signal entry coming from the market analyzer, actually, whether you are using a full automated or you are using an ATM strategy, what it does, and enter the market and put the sell trade on right on the target. And every target is calculated differently from one entry to another, depends on the buyers, sellers, high time frame, highs and lows, lows and high. So it is a lot come into the 1 minute chart. And then what it does, it gives you the trailing stop, and the trailing stops, you can choose between trailing stop 1 and trailing stop 2. The trailing stop 2 or is trailing stop 1. And if we notice right now on that trailing stop we have, it's not just a black box. The trailing stop can go backward and move forward or backward. We're the only company able to use a backward and forward on the trailing stop, because most of them are a dummy trailing stop. But what it does, like any trader, sometimes he pulled back his trailing stop or his stop loss a little bit because he can recognize it is a pullback. There is the party is not over, whether he's ticking long or short. So if we notice, the trailing stop, sometimes it does not move a lot, but it move a few ticks and hide behind the line. And this is a very complex to have the system calculating on the pullback re-entry or a pullback and move the trailing stop backward. We are the only company worldwide able to figure out how to move the trailing stop backward and forward. On the second one here, if we want to look at the NASDAQ as well, we will be looking at the NASDAQ, and we will try to get estimated where we are on that trade, or where we are going with the support and resistance line. At the same time, we can look at a different market. I took the DAX out from the market analyzer, and I can put it back on, but we are strictly today using the US session. Usually when the markets open around 9:30, a lot of movement happened in the market, and you can see it was all of them has hit the target, and at 9:30 it has come in a new signal, and that's why now you will see in no time the market analyzer will start getting adjusted to the new timing. So actually on the market analyzer, if you want to trade the market analyzer, you gotta wait till like around 10 o'clock to get the to digest the new signals, and then the system will start getting you start spitting out the new signals, depends on the market movement. And then we have the swing trading is working on the swing trading, and then we can cover the swing trading as well. So what we have seen here on as an example on the CL, this is an early entry on the CL, and this one here also is an early entry on the CL. If we look at the CL, we had a beautiful ride today on the CL, and it is really straight down. And this is a 5 minutes chart. I mean, you can see how it was all day long doing the Globex, and still there is a lot of potential on dropping the CL much farther down. So right now, when we first started, we only had one signal, is the NASDAQ, and we can see on the NASDAQ there is nothing holding back on that NASDAQ, and probably is going straight forward on the NASDAQ. So we'll keep our eye, and if we see anything worse to trade, we will be letting you know. If you want to follow those trades, if you don't know what you're doing, I strongly advise you to trade on a sim. We're not responsible for your trade, and we are just telling you where we are entering. and maybe that will help some of the traders, trying to help them to stay out of trouble. At least that really the whole idea. We're not charging for to go live. We're not collecting any information. We don't know who's out there, but I will be uh, telling you where you're gonna be able to take a short trade or not, and I will be looking at the. I cannot keep my eye everywhere, so I'm gonna limit this ESYM and uh, Nasdaq, and probably if I can aim my eyes also on the CL, I will tell you there is an entry price on that one or not. Those here, when we say there is an entry price, we can go between those three automated trading. So please, when we say I will be going short here or long here, is if you want to follow again, if you want to follow those trades, this on your own risk. We're not responsible for your trade at any price. So one of the things, because the reason I'm doing this, I'm testing the new dome we are making. So probably I will be testing those new dome on the manual trades as well. So those here, they're gonna be on sim, and I will be taking those trades. The one I will be calling on sim to show you, to see how those um, uh, working, and then we can. Um, uh, if you want to follow those trades on sim, you can do, but I'm going to be testing those signals also on the dome. So when I see short trade on those domes, I'll let you know there is a short trade. We are testing it for our members. None of those has been released yet. It will be released extremely soon. The only things we are keeping our eye on those dome to see how they are connected. There is some technical things. I don't want to go through it right now, but I will be going through that in the webinars on the school and the private webinars to our members. So I will be testing those signals. The ones are directly. The whole idea about those dome is staying using the chart. You can follow the targets, the signal entry, and what we do, we are simplifying the trade on the dome, so you don't need to look from the technical side on the chart, not unless if you want to use the fib lines, or if you care about the fib lines or something like this. But the simpler, the better it is, and this is exactly what we are trying to do. As an example, right now we have a short trade on the CL, and we have a short trade right now on the CL. So I'm just showing you how the signal, and there is so many indicators we have put on the dome, and we will see how it will work. For the entry signal right now on the Nasdaq, the one we just have a fired signal, we still at the target at 7002, and then it's already 14 ticks in the plus. So I lost the dome. I don't know where is it right now. Okay, so I will read in the signals from, this is what we are testing. So I will be reading the signals from the dome, and I'll let you know how they are working with. So we are waiting on the new signals right now. Let's look at the ES. Usually Fridays are a little bit unusual. Whoever took that trade on the CL, you are $40, $50 up. I just lost it. I don't know where is it. You are right now $70, 80 short trade on the CL. You see, this is what I was covering yesterday. I like to see the market is in a sequence. And today, if we notice, I was mentioned that whoever took that trade, they are $100 up, 110 on the CL. We just call that trade on the CL. Yesterday, I was covering that on the market analyzer here. I keep my eye very much on it. And I said, especially when the market is in sequence, if we notice today, the ES on the buying mood, the Nasdaq is on the buying mood, and then if we notice the YM is on the sell mood, that means it's not synchronizing with the ES and the Nasdaq. And here's the fun part. Here is the fun part. The 30-year Treasury bond is in the buying mood. That itself is a nightmare, especially for traders. They have to be very careful. For professional traders, when we are taking trade, we look at the 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 15 minutes, or 10 minutes in that matter. And some of them, they go up to 30 minutes. But in the same time, when you are trading the future, you have to look at the ES. Even if you are trading the DAX, the ES, even if you are trading the YM, the ES, you have to look at it because it is the best signal in the house. It's the best, is leading in a way the market. Even when the Nasdaq lately takes off from the ES and it goes on its own, the even if the Nasdaq goes by itself, is always stops when the ES hit major area. And it is very important for a guy, if you're trying to be a little bit more professional on that, you have to put the 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you need to put the ES chart and look at the ES chart. How is it going with the ES chart? So right now we have on the ES $162, and the Nasdaq right in when we came in, we have a new signal on the YM. So right now we called the trade on the Nasdaq, and it's doing extremely well. And right now, the ones followed on the CL nailed around $80. We called the Nasdaq right now on the Nasdaq. You are up $200 based on one contract. And now let's see on the ES. The ES is going. Oh, we need to see the YM because we just have a new signal on the YM. Just a second, please. We have the entry from the automated trade. If you are trading the YM, you gotta be careful. You have a resistance line at 248.36, 248. For the ones are trading the CL, the one we called from, you are up to $200 on this trade, and you stay with it, please. Please stay on that trade. Let me try to find it. It's somewhere. It's a big mess here. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. 250 in that trade. This is the one we just called. You are $320 on that trade, folks. Do not exit. Do not exit. Do not exit. We've been in that session now for 18 minutes. We called NASDAQ. already made 190, and now we are around $300 on the CL. So within 15 minutes, we nailed $500 between Nasdaq and superb, superb, superb. Do not close. Do not close until we say close, please. Do not close CL right now. Do not close. If you are interested, you can go in on the Nasdaq right now. One more time. If you are too late on that trade, you can go on the Nasdaq right now. Long, of course, long. The YM is struggling. That's not good news. So let's see. Okay, we just had the 30-year Treasury bond on the swing trading just closed 1,300. The one who I called the Nasdaq. I said you can go long right now. You are $20 up. Do not panic on the CL. I know there's a lot of pullback right now, but I'm not worried about it. Once we say close, close. Stay on, please. Stay on. It's gonna break down again. Okay, there we go. We're about to overburn that market on the CL. Let's see if we can do that. It's going to drop. Do not panic, please. There we go. We are on the road again, 200. We're dropping 210. We are testing the dome, so I'm taking those trade on the dome direct from the signals. So please, if you want to follow those trades, follow it from your on a sim account. We're not responsible for your trade. The problem is I'm overriding what the auto trade. The auto trade will hit the target and get off, and that's it. I'm just overriding the auto trade, and this is where we know a little bit more than just a normal auto trade. So let's see. Once I say it's closed, please. Do not close yet. Yeah, sometimes the market can tease us a bit, but we notice this is the target. So we see the CL where the automated trade is going to exit from the target with no question about it. So let's see what will happen. Okay. The party is over on the CL. I'm going to give it one more bar. That's it. It's bottom out. Close position, please. We close position $160. ES Nasdaq, if you are long, and let me see, the Nasdaq is pulling back. Let me look at the Nasdaq. Okay. The Nasdaq is going to climb to the 9750. The target is 700275. We're still climbing on the Nasdaq. For the one who entered the market when we first opened, now you are 46 ticks based on one contract. And I ask you to re-enter the Nasdaq. For the one who re-entered the Nasdaq is $75 in the profit. As you notice, the market is extremely slow. The YM entry did go south. We are down $60 on the YM automated trade. But I'm not worried about it. The reason I'm not worried about it, I'm going to show you why. Because you have a triple support line at the YM. So that can give you an ease out, telling you there is a strong hold right there. So we're not worried about that trade. If you are on an ES trade, be careful. If you are on an ES trade, maybe you need to exit the ES at the moment. The momentum in the market is changing. We can always nail it on the pullback. I'll recall it when there is a re-entry. We have a new signal somewhere. I will find it. Oh, it's coming from the dome. For the Forex traders, you have the market analyzer right there. And I'm sorry, I cannot keep up with 20 different chart. But on the Forex, I simplify that. And here is your sell entry. This is amazing. Today, it was a sell entry on the euro dollar. This is your re-entry point. It was 6.95, and it is amazing. It is amazing on the Forex 1 minute. And if we notice here, this is 1 minute chart, and we hit right straight to the target at 64.52. Look at it. We hit right to the target all day long. The target was there, and it cannot be cleaner than that at all on that chart. It is very clean and extreme accurate on the Forex. We can look at any kind of Forex. You can see the potential if you wanted to trade Forex, or if you wanted to trade stocks, you can use the system to trade the stocks as well. All of them are extremely good and extremely accurate to the tick. This is really, really nice. Let's look at the market. If we notice on the YM, we have a pullback base to the major support area here, the YM, and the YM is going. This is why I like the ATM, not the full automated, because I can, like, let's say I want to move my target, I can move my target, I can put it back. When the auto trade fires, it fires at your stop loss, which is your floor and fibs, major floor and fibs, or it fires at and then put it at the signal. Or if you want to, if you don't want to deal with it, you can use a major, um, just a fully automated trade, and then you should be very fine with it. So let's see what's going on. Trying to find an entry. Right now, the market is a little bit chop in the market. So if you are thinking going long, please flat out everything. Right now, there is a different momentum. Just if you are going long, be careful going long. If you are on the YM, um, if this one here, this strong hold at 24,775 is not going to hold, might as well go ahead, call off the YM. As long as the YM is above this, you're okay. But if this YM gonna penetrate the 24,775, that's mean you are in trouble. Let me look at the ES. This is a projection on the ES, and we should be okay if we exit. If we go or the bar close above the 2575, we are okay. So the ES is getting stuck between the 2725 projection, and it's getting stuck between the support line at 2723. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just the Nasdaq is climbing. A little turbulence at 69.97.75, but you should be fine. If you are happy with whatever you got so far, then close your Nasdaq and call it off. So this is all what we have right now, guys. The market is it is really flat in a way, and let me try. We have no problem with the Nasdaq, but I'm concerned about the YM. Let me see the YM again. Okay, the YM is going. Resistance on the YM to 48.37. 48.37 on the YM. ES. This is the problem. We need to see this bar closing above the 25.75. Nasdaq, we're doing fine with the Nasdaq, and the YM, we're doing fine on the YM. And what is nice about it, if you notice, when we are using the fully automated trade, we cannot do that. But if you let the auto trade take the entry, and the auto trade put it at the trailing stop, but also if you want to interfere on the ATM, that's why I like the ATM on that system more than the fully automated. On this one here on the right corner, let the system is fully automated. I cannot do anything about it. So this one here, I will let it take control and close position when the trend has changed. That's a different story, but this is a total different animal here. It is a little bit more advanced for the guys that have been around for a while. Then they can let the entry take control, and then they can manage their auto trade in a way. So I closed it, so that's fine. Let me see. ES, there is no entry, re-entry on the ES. There is no re-entry. If you're not in on the ES, there is no re-entry at the moment on the ES, folks. There is no re-entry on the ES at the moment. Let's look at the euro dollar one more time to see if there's anything happened. We have a new signal on the euro dollar at 66.5, and your target is 685.4, and then you have a resistance line at 166.73.8. This is your euro dollar entries. You can see them from here, from the market analyzer. You can see where is your entry, and you can see where is your trailing stop. Let me highlight it for you. It's right above the dark gray color. You can see where is the euro dollar. You can see the entry on the pullback, where is the re-entry, 647, and then it tells you where is your target. And now there is a new signal on this one here. So we can, right now there is no entry on the um, ES. There is no re-entry point. We had an entry at 27.22.75, and right now I don't. It's struggling to break that retracement at 27.25. It is really a problem for the ES. So let's see if we are able to break that line. Once we break that line, then the Nasdaq and the YM, they're gonna follow immediately with that. For the Russell, it's been 2 days on the road with no performance on the Russell. Yesterday, if we look at the video, it was no performance on the Russell, and today there is no performance on the Russell. I'm thinking to take this Russell away. Okay, it's struggling. The market is really struggling at the moment. We sit on the side. We sit on the side for a while. We need to see that ES. There we go. Once this ES break that level 27.75, 25.75, I'm sorry, then we should be okay. So we are keeping our eye on the ES to see. If somebody has not re-entered the ES, I will let you know when you can re-enter the ES. At the moment, it's a very risky area to take that trade on the ES long. That is gonna put you in a bad mood here. So please, if you're thinking about taking the ES, wait till cross the 27.25.75. From the entry signal on the Nasdaq, we have 48 ticks. From the one I said to re-enter, if you have not exited, that means you are $80 up on that. So let's see. Wait, guys. If you're thinking taking along on the ES, please be careful. We need to cross the 27.25.75. It is a really struggling area. Let's look at the Nasdaq in the meantime. Actually, you can see yourself how Nasdaq is waiting. We are waiting on Um, Notice that a few minutes ago when I said the market, you have to be very careful. When we had the YM was short and the 30-year treasury bond was long, going with the same direction with the ES. And I said this is a really play in the market, and this can cause a lot of trouble for a trader, whether you are automated or not. And now you can see the market is in sequence where the 30-year treasury bond is uh, in uh, in a short position, and YM Nasdaq ES in the same direction. This is very important for traders, whether you are automated or you are manual, to keep your eye on it. If the market is not in sequence, you're gonna get in trouble. Absolutely. Uh, there is sometimes a play in the market that you and I cannot comprehend, or we don't know what they have on their mind to do. So when you see that trouble here is not going right, then that's mean we need to stay out, or we need to keep our eye very open on the market. If we notice the ES, this is here the advanced one, and we I didn't want to put too much on it. If we notice here, and this is very important for a guy is trying to automate, it doesn't matter which automated trade he has, whether it's from us or somebody else. This is where a trader from 1013 until now, despite which time frame he's using, he's going to be in trouble. The reason is the market, the ES gearing is stuck between the projection and the support line, keep going back and forth 20 times. We don't know what they are thinking, and we don't know. We are looking for a breakout on the ES. So you can use all the tools you have, and you can go around the circle for many times. You cannot predict the ES because the ES is getting stuck. This is where most of the time that uh, that can cause trouble for a trader. And for the ones they call themselves, they are trading with Renko, they are hiding the problem. They're not showing the problem. So the ones on the Renko bar, because I want to do one time, maybe next week, or when you right click on the chart and you redo the Renko bar moves. So that's why you see false results and false movement on the Renko bar. That's why if you want to take your trade to another level, it's nice to have a Renko bar for a reversal, but they are a nightmare because they will not show you the true trend. Ninja Trader is in minutes, it's not in Renko bar. All the charts are in minutes. So we cannot change it to Renko bar. So right now we can see how or why your auto trade is getting stuck in a channel. And now we can understand why that auto trade is not making money. Once the market is getting stuck like this, where do you want this auto trade to make money? So this is a very important for the guy stands saying my auto trade didn't make money or this auto trade made money today. It is very important to know why yesterday the auto trade made money, or why, because he's not looking at this problem right now on the ES. And this is a huge problem on the ES, getting stuck between 27, 23.75 and a retracement at 25.75. So we've been on the same circle from 1016, and right now it is 10:43. This is a half an hour, so you can imagine what kind of damage your auto trade is if he's trying to take those trades. This is really problem for a guy, because the habit on those guys, the auto trade, they just look at numbers. If they made money today, they are happy, but they don't question how I made money, or if they lose money, they don't question how did I lose money. So it is very important for this guy auto trading. We don't want you to be a brilliant trader or a genius trader, but at least you have to understand what's going on behind the market and see why and how. It is very important. You cannot be um, going to another level with the trading with blind eyes. You cannot be just closing your eye and ignoring the problems we face every day in the market. Um, there is no rules. Today rules is something, and tomorrow is total different rules. You cannot just say black and white sometimes in the market. Could be this rules today I can see is going to break to the downside, and it could be tomorrow I see the same problem and I think it's going to break out to the long side. So you cannot just, and all this it comes after many years you sit behind the screen. Then you can, the best way it is to develop your own uh, trading or your own, not follow anybody's trade. You're gonna fail. Let's look what's going on. Actually, now the markets are changing, and what I'm expecting in the market right now, the ES, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, it seems like they're gonna go to the downside. Let's see what will happen in those area here. We're in a way very flat. It's a Friday. Friday is a hard day. So let's see what is the Nasdaq and the ES is gonna do. On the ES, as long as we dive in here, uh, be careful. Don't, if you're not trading, be careful with your trade, because this is where your trading stop and this is your safe re-entry point. So before you dive into the short, wait till we see those 27.1975 as a re-entry point. And if you're thinking short, wait. It's too early to call short. If you are smart, you want to scalp the market 27.23, but you need to exit somewhere around 20.50, somewhere around there. That's all what you have in that short trade. So you got to be careful. You got to be very careful with that short trade, please. Where it's going to stop is going to stop around this area here. You have an entry. You have an entry. You have a support area. You have a re-entry and a big trailing stop. This is a huge major support in that area. Do not let it fool you. Do not let it fool you, guys. Be careful. This is here from the 27, 20, 50 to the 19. So this is 1.5 point. But this is area, this 1.5 point is the most critical area on the ES right now at this moment. If you are thinking, if you are on a short position, you will be stopped here, because this is where we need to find a re-entry point in this area right there. And by the time this bar going a little bit farther down, this is most of the traders, they're gonna fall into this trap and taking short trade where there is no short trade right there. Absolutely no short trade. Too early for that. If we notice, keep your eye on it. By the time this bar close down, Most of the amateur trading, they're gonna start looking for short. There is no short. This is your problem right there. Whether you are using ticks, minutes, Renko, by now everybody is on the wagon taking short. There is no short. From 2050 to 19, so between 2719 and 2075, you have a lot of problems. Watch it, guys. Watch it. It's right to the tick where is your buy signal entry. Your signal entry, buying entry was 2750. Yeah? Look at this chart accuracy where it came in exactly to the tick and stopped. By then, if you are using all those out of date indicators, by now everybody is on the wagon short. And it fell. We have the signal. A re-entry point is 2719.50. This is your re-entry point right there. It requires a lot of selling in the market. It requires a lot of selling in the market to penetrate one line, two line, three lines, four lines. It requires a lot of selling. If there is not enough selling here to penetrate all those lines, this market is turning around from those levels, as you see right now. The beauty about the future trading is not following the market, is try to predict the market. We don't need an indicator like a MACD or an ATR or all those out of date. When the market going up, your MACD telling you is going up, or your ATR. We don't need an indicator follow the market. We need an indicator predict the market. This is you trade in the future, and your indicators based on the past. It's not going to work. Any indicator follow the market is no longer indicator. It's just piece of crap. Is on your chart. Despite, with the respect to everyone, we need to predict. Once you start knowing how to predict, then your odd to become a professional trader, or you can be relying on trading, become much easier for you. Sadly, we cannot decide when we can take a trade. We cannot do that. We always have to wait the right doors to open. And my doors are open at 1975, buying, not selling. By now, if we look that movement here, every single amateur trading has jumped on the wagon. Every single amateur trading. And now the market start kicking back, and then they start getting pissed, and that's why Friday, it's not really, look at this, came in exactly to the entry, to the tick, folks, right in front of you. This is not a pre-made video. And the market kicked back. So not getting excited in the market is your best weapon. To be calm, wait, and study the movement. Not just the ES. Let's look at the NASDAQ. It's not an accident. If we see the NASDAQ dropped, it came into the first minor, your trailing stop is your fib line, and this is your re-entry. Look how the NASDAQ pulled back to your entry point, your signal entry point, and your first trailing stop to the tick. Let's look at the YM. It's not going to be any better. Okay, the YM is not even, let me see. There we go. Look at the YM came into the trailing stop. And this is what you see on your market analyzer. This is your safe re-entry based on the pullback. So when the market going up is pulling back, we're giving you the signal when to re-enter the market, and then it is really amazing piece, the accuracy on it. So if we notice on the Nasdaq, we have the re-entry point at 66.25, and it is covered by double support line. So it tells us in a plain English that if there is not enough sellers, that line here is not going to be penetrated. So what does that mean in the trading language? This is your, even if you, this is where you buy right there, and what is your stop loss is right there. So this is where on that trade require few ticks. There is no magic in there, and I don't like to use a trailing stop. The reason is why I'm in a hurry to exit a trade when it's going on my side. What I do with my trailing stop, if I take that trade, I'll hide behind the trailing stop one, and then I will hide behind the buy entry or the safe entry, or behind the fib line, but you do not use your stop loss out in the open and protect it. So this is very important to not use dummy trailing stop, because it is a bad, very bad for your trading dummy trailing stop. I don't get it. I really do not get it. Why in a hurry to get out of a trade when this trade is going to your direction? The market is totally dead. Let me see if we can try to grab something to chew on. We might have a potential on the CL, a re-entry to the long side. Let me see if I can find the CL. Not right now. It's too early on the CL to do that. It's very early to do that on the CL. So we cannot take any trade on the CL at the moment. You're going to get stuck with the NASDAQ. I'm trying to follow those signals on the new system we have been building with the signals on the dome. So we're still working on them, and we are testing them so a trader can directly take a trade from it without thinking, or he can automate it from the dome. So that will be, and then he can look at the dome instead looking at charts. At the moment, there is nothing, no trades. Sometimes you have to be very patient. If you want to take a small trade on the NASDAQ, I will let you know, but be careful, or on the ES, I'll let you know, but you have to be very fast with it. You have to be extremely fast with it, because if you want to take an ES short, you have this problem here again. We are going back to test it. So if you are taking a short, you have to be very quick with the ES, because I'll let you know if we see anything short trade. But hold on a little bit. Let's see what will happen. Okay, when you see this chart is blinking, this means there is a lot of buying power coming into the ES. This is your ES. You know, we've been 1 hour in this trying. We got the Nasdaq signal, we got the CL, but I don't see anything yet, and we are actually. Um, so I will wait a few minutes. There is no movement whatsoever. I'm trying to find even a scalping, if we can scalp something, and I cannot find anything right now. Nope, nothing. Nothing, guys. Nothing. We're still looking. If you notice, here is your entry on the ES. It's actually very pleasant. I like it. Uh, uh, we have uh, we have done Let me try to show. There is so many things we have done on while we are waiting. Let me show you what we have done. Then you can have the levels with it. Uh, uh, Look, we can have the levels. It tells you the levels, and then we can add your zone, and then we can add your signals. You see, it tells you where is the zone. It is. We've been working on it for a very long time. Actually, I'm getting bored with it, but we're getting there. And then we have one for the ticks and one for the pips as well. And then here, it's been a nightmare trying to synchronize it with the market, and so let me see. ES. There is all kind of function on it. We will be covering it once it's done, but we are doing the testing on it. Folks, I don't think so. It's gonna anything gonna happen today. I think it's a Friday. We when we first came in, it was a signal entry on the Nasdaq, and we called one trade on the CL, and they were winning. And it is a Friday. Nothing is going to happen. And now we're getting okay. We have a new signal. Let's see. I mean, I don't see anything anymore today, guys. I want to say, wish you very nice weekend, and we'll see you all next week. Bye for now.